We had a Twitter question, and I'm intrigued to see what people think. I actually, based upon something a listener sent us earlier this week, I decided, let me sit down and take a look, because CBS Sports has point spreads for every game the rest of the year. And we were just talking about how Vegas, is that a healthy way when trying to digest what to expect from our football team? Is a realistic expectation using Vegas to set what is a realistic expectation? Because that's how I use it. Now, is that right or wrong? What do you think of that as an approach to try and keep things in check? So you as someone who analyzes a team and talks about their successes and failures, try and understand what is a realistic expectation.
I don't know. I don't like to use Vegas for anything.
Don't you?
No, I don't. And I know that sometimes hey, Vegas got it absolutely right. And last night was, an instance where if you're watching the NFL game, it was funny because not funny for people who would have bet the other way, but had Buffalo scored, the over would have hit by half a point, and Buffalo would have covered by half a point.
Really?
Yeah. So, but they didn't score, so it wasn't. It was way the other direction. But just interesting how that works out sometimes. It doesn't always work out like that. So that's why I take it with a grain of salt. I mean, maybe that's a very baseline thing to look at. With that, at least you get a sense for what people think. If it's a big spread or if it's a really narrow spread, if it's 2 points or if it's 10 points, you feel like, okay, one's a clear-cut favorite, or, hey, this is literally who knows what's going to happen.
Okay, so I went back and looked up. The Vegas over-under for the Lions going into the season, so before the season started, was 10.5, meaning Vegas was predicting 6 or 7 losses. And that was obviously due in large part to schedule. I also think it was due in large part to even good teams lose a lot of football games in the National Football League. So they have 4 losses with 7 to go. Using CBS Sports, I was able to look up the point spread. Point spread for the Giants, 10.5 or 11.5, depending on who you look at. But they have every other game the rest of the way. Green Bay, in 6 days, the Lions are a 3.5-point favorite as it stands right now. Dallas, the Thursday after that, the Lions are a 6-point favorite. In LA against the Rams, Lions are a 1-point favorite right now. Pittsburgh at home, the Lions are a 6.5-point favorite. At Minnesota, Lions are a 3-point favorite. At Chicago, Lions are favored by 1.5. They're favored in every game the rest of the way.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm going by my theory. Realistically, is the expectation now that this team's going to go 13-4? That they're going to win out? I suppose I don't believe that because, I mean, look, favorites don't win every game. But they're set up here to finish the season strong. They're set up. The schedule tells us that the Lions and the opponents they play, I mean, is it fair to think they're going to win 5 of these final 7 games? Is that a realistic expectation?
Well, I'm trying to find the date on this. This was sent out. This has been Wednesday, October 29th. Mm-hmm. There was updated Vegas odds on win totals.
Wednesday, so almost a month ago.
So before week 1, the win total for the Lions was 10.5. Yeah. After week 4, it was 11.5. And after the 8th game of the season, it was still 11.5. So has that changed now? Is that up? I don't think that's how they do it. Like,
right.
They're going to handicap it that way. But
the reason I brought it up is in these 7 games, what do you think they're going to do? What do you think their record will be? It's Giants at home, Green Bay at home, Dallas at home. Lions are favored by 11.5, 3.5, 6. At LA, they're favored by 1. Pittsburgh at home, they're favored by 6.5. At Minnesota, at Chicago, -3 and -1.5. They're favored in every single game as it stands right now, according to CBS Sports website, week by week, looking at it this morning. I don't think they're going to go 7-0 in these games and finish 13-4.
No, I don't either.
What do you think they're going to do?
I'd stick with my season prediction of 11-6. So
you think they're going to go? You think they're going to go 5-2?
Yeah,
the rest of the way. I've said I think they'll sweep these next 3 games, and I meant it. I do not think they will. The thing about the Rams in LA is it's just not your typical road game. Rams are good.
The Rams are very good. That's the thing, is that the Rams are very good. They've got a very good defense, a defensive front that gets after you. Stafford's playing the best football of his life. He's got receivers. They've got a running game. It's a pretty complete team.
I mean, this is a weird thing because I'd like to be very specific with the predictions because I think they'll beat Pittsburgh at home. And I don't think they're going to lose to Minnesota twice. And I've already said that it's all coming down to the Bears Sunday Night Football for the division crown. Yeah, I mean, 5-2 feels like a good, realistic expectation. But if you come in at okay, so that has them finishing at 11-6. It feels, I feel like there's an undercurrent in Detroit right now. Like this team is massively underachieving. Would an 11-6 finish be massively underachieving? Because it would technically hit the Vegas over.
I don't think. I mean, obviously, I don't think so because I thought this is 11-16.
Yeah.
So no, to me, it's not.
Why does it feel that way?
Well, when you win 15 games one year and then you drop down to 11, I think there's a letdown. Even though, and that's why I get back to Vegas as setting a realistic expectation. Kind of shouldn't we have seen some of the losses coming? And invariably we're going to get the call that says, but it's how they lost. I know. Yeah, when you lose, things go wrong and you look bad, but. Kang, does it feel to you like there's an undercurrent of this team massively underachieving this year?
Yeah, I think so. It just feels like it. I don't think that it is. It feels like it because I think when people predict 11 wins, they forget they have to lose 6 times.
Yeah.
You know, they forget what that looks like, especially coming off a year where you only lost twice. And no matter how the struggle was, how many guys got hurt, the Lions found a way to win games last year. And I think people got content and got used to that they would do the same thing this year, even though they knew in their own mind that wasn't going to happen again. They predicted 10, 11 wins, but they forget the losses.
Yeah.
You have to lose 6, 7 games.
And it's hard to digest those losses, even if you predict them to happen along the way. So we asked people on Twitter, and we'll ask you, in these final 7, what do you think their record will be? We've told you how they're favored in every game. We gave you the point spreads. What do you think their record will be in these final 7 games? Here's some of the feedback has come in from Pat. Lions will go 6-1 down the stretch. Dan Campbell will have them dialed in. Going 6-1 will give them the division. 5-2 gets them in the playoffs. Mickey says 5-2, but won't be shocked at 6-1. And we win the North. Green Bay and Chicago will lose 4 games each. The Rams are no joke, and I could see another loss out of left field because that's the NFL. That's from Mickey. I'm kind of in the same camp. I mean, if I were to pick the game they're most likely to lose, it's the Rams game. And could I see another one because it's the NFL? I could see another one, yes, because it's the NFL. John says 6-1 Lions finish the season with 12 wins, finish first in the division. Last game will not divide the division. I think he means decide, though. Last game will not decide the division. Lions will lock up the division in Week 17 against the Vikings. J.D. Doherty says, I don't know. I hope they win out, but I can definitely see 2 more losses. Raymond tweets us, Lions go 4-3 with a final record of 10-7 and make it as the 7th seed. I think Green Bay comes back to win the division. Chicago beats us in Week 18 to grab the 6th seed, and we win the tiebreaker over San Francisco for some reason. That's what he writes. That's what he thinks. From Hot Take Eagle, 5-2, they lose to the Rams. They win the division, but can't get the 1 or 2 seed with losses to the Rams and Philly. They bench players against Chicago and lose there. That'd be kind of weird, but it's also possible. 248-539-9797. What do you think the record's going to be the rest of the way? We had some doom and gloom, but just to kind of bring it back, they're favored in every game the rest of the way, according to CBS Sports this morning. Double-checked it. And what do you think they're going to do the rest of the schedule, final 7 games? Doug Karsch, Scott Anderson, 97.1.